Hello.
Hello.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Perfect. So we're gonna wait maybe 1-2 more minutes to see who else is gonna join us, and then we can start from here talking a little bit about our class this quarter. I can see you, all of you guys. There you go. Tiffany, I think, is out. Any questions before I'm starting? Okay, so let's wait 1 more minute and then we can start digging into this. Okay, see more people joining us. Awesome. Hi guys. So my name is Isabel Tridel. I don't know if you saw already like the videos that I uploaded. The first video was presenting myself. So you can tell from my accent, I am a foreign person. I was born and raised in Colombia and I came here 9 years ago. I have a bachelor in product design engineer. I am also an active member, a volunteer from the United Nations Associations. I am the president of the Orange County chapter and I am a national council member, where I advise the United Nations Association in topics such as education and young engagement. When I came here, before coming here to the US, I used to work in the biomedical field. So I used to design prosthetics for amputee people. So then I started my own business in the biomedical field. And then I did some research there. I did some projects. I work also as an associate professor in a private university. And then I decided I wanted to do like my higher education. So then I wanted to polish my English, do a master. So I came here to the US, I started studying, and then one day I was flying back from Boston, visiting my brother. And then I sat down to a guy for 5 hours talking to him. And then a couple of years later, that guy became into my husband. So I got married, I have a child. My daughter is gonna be 2 years old. And then that's for now. I'm starting also here my business besides teaching and feeding. I do have to admit, I have a passion for teaching. I love teaching. And I also like combining like what I have learned so far in the academy, not just in the academia in South America, but also in the private sector, working as a consultant and as a business owner. So here I wanted to introduce the class to all of you guys about what is math and why it's so important. I know some of you have, and I don't blame you, I used to be like in that position, dislike for math. So then it's important to understand why we have this feeling. If it's something that happened to us when we were younger, we didn't have like a good instructor, we have like a bad experience. Something that is really interesting is studies have shown how finding the beauty in something, it helps you actually to enjoy it more. And it's kind of interesting because they run a different tests with different mathematicians. And then what they found is that there is an area that it gets stimulated by the time that they were showing some equations that they find beautiful equations. So it's kind of, it sounds awkward, but it's real, which is kind of interesting. So then my biggest point about, at this point is that I wanna invite you to all of you to be open with the class. If you had a bad experience in the past, this is a scratch from zero. This is a reset. I want you to enjoy the class. I don't want you to get stressed. This is not to get stressed. I want you to learn basic tools that you can move forward with a knowledge and start finding the use for this. So we're going to have different ways of moving forward with the class. We're going to have a way of evaluating you as a person, which we're going to have some labs, which you can actually go into each module. And in each module, we're gonna have a presentation. You can actually download the lectures. I'm actually even trying to upload some videos. You will see, I start actually doing it, but I was turning a lot because I wanted to have the flow that you have in your PowerPoint with the same examples. But it was hard for me because I was seeing from far. So I'm trying to improve that, to make it better. So as you know, this is an e-learning material, but I want to also to support you, and I want to upload the material so you can have a better understanding and a better grasp of the material. So then, as I said, we're going to have some lectures, which are PowerPoints. They grasp about all the topic that we are going to cover in each module. Then you're going to have a lab. And then the lab, what it's going to have different questions about each module. So then you're going to answer, you're going to show all the process. That's really key, guys. I'm going to ask you to write down, you can print it out, you can write down everything, because I want to see that you're really understanding. So it's really important to show the whole process. After that, you're going to go into a section that it says lab, and it has like a little rocket. And you're going to go and plug the numbers. So then once you're done with your lab, you can actually go and start solving that lab. Once you finish that portion is going to give you a grade right away. So then I want you, before you're going to open that area and you're going to start answering those questions, be really sure if you have any questions, talk to me, talk to your peers. And then you're going to find different options. You're going to find multiple options, which you need to be really careful with the units. You're going to find a numeric, which means you need to enter the number by itself. In that portion, you don't need to enter the units, because I'm telling you already, the answer is given in feet or the answer is given in centimeters, for example. And then you're also going to have another true or false. So then it's going to tell you, is the area 25 meters to the power of 2, and then you will say, is that true or is that false? So that's one portion. Then in modules, we're going to have a discussion, and then the discussion, we're going to have 5 discussions. So then discussion could be, the first one, for example, is the introduction, but then later we're going to talk about some topics. We're going to be talking about tessellations. We're going to be talking about algebra, and then how making a mistake in algebra, having an error, it will be detrimental in business industry. We're going to be talking about the interest rate. And then with that, we're, for example, are going to talk about the payday case. We're going to talk about fractals. So we're going to talk about Jurassic Park and the dragon fractal. So then that's something that is going to be more interactive, more about reading, more about understanding the concepts, and then you're going to be sharing with your peers. So then remember, that's another portion that is going to start helping you boosting your grade. So then again, remember, we have the presentation, which is the PowerPoint. Then we have the module, and then with the module, we have the labs. So you download the lab, you solve the lab first. And after you're sure and you feel comfortable, you go into the portion that is the rocket, which is a graded. That's going to be graded. So then you go and then you plug the numbers. Then you're going to have the discussion, only 5 discussions among the whole quarter. And then you're going to have some projects. Those projects are going to be group projects. So then we're going to be putting into action what we are learning. So an example of a project, it could be designing something. And then the designing is going to ask you for a requirement that you need to follow certain numbers, you need to get an area specifically, and then you can get together with maximum is going to be a group of 3 people. So that you can get together with 2 more peers. I'm not going to assign the groups, but you can go and find your own friends. You can talk to them in the chat. When you're introducing yourself, you can start grasping, I want to work with this person or with that person. And finally, we're going to have quizzes. How is the quiz is going to work? By the time you're doing your lab, it's going to be helping you, training you for the whole quarter. And it's something that is going to show you how the mechanic is, how it's working with solving, the reasoning. And then the quiz, we're going to have 2 quizzes. One quiz is going to prepare you for the midterm. And then the second quiz is going to prepare you for the final. So then you have a better understanding. Okay, these are the type of questions that I'm going to find in the midterm. These are the type of questions that I'm going to find in the final. And how those questions are coming. Those questions are coming from the lectures. Those questions are coming from the labs. And those questions are coming from the projects. So that you're going to be able to find that those tools that you're being applying here are going to be there. So then, as I mentioned, you're going to have one portion that is going to be individual. You're going to answer your own questions, but I'm also going to give you a chance to learn with your peers. So you can actually even have that release of learning from your peers and then your colleagues in a way. So then you're going to be developing a project. Does it make sense, guys? Are we good? Can we hear you? I don't see anyone. I don't know if I'm frozen. Is my camera frozen?
Your camera turned off.
Oh. Okay, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
There you go. There you go. Can you see me? Yes, yes. Okay, perfect. So then does it make sense, the way that we're going to work it out? Yep. I see thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, perfect. I see. Okay, perfect. Okay, guys. So then remember, we're going to have different ways. We're going to have the discussions. We're going to have 5 discussions. And then each discussion is going to be 2 points. It's something that you can read online. It's something that you can read on your textbook. You're going to find the information in your textbook. We are going to have some labs. The information in the lab is going to be a mix. So what I did is that I took some examples, some exercises, and I combined them with real things, and I mixed those and I put them in the lab. Then we're going to have the projects, which means we're going to have 8 labs. We're going to have 5 projects that you can do as a part of a team. So that's not individual. Then we're going to have 2 quizzes, which each quiz is going to be 15 points, 1-5, preparing you for the midterm, preparing you for the final. And then we're going to have our midterm, which is going to be 30 points, 3-0. And then we're going to have our final, which is 5-0. So something really important, as I mentioned about this class, is the process. So that's why whenever I'm providing the lab that you can download, there is a portion before submitting that you need to upload the results. So you need to upload, you can scan it, you can take a picture, and then you can upload that file so then I can see the whole process. And it's really important. The process is I think is the most important. It's like sometimes you know the essence and it's because you made a mistake with a subtraction. So then for me, it's important to know what is your understanding and where we are failing so we can fix that. And then finally, as I said, you're going to have also the opportunity to be working with your peers. I'm going to be doing some bonus activities so you can also boost your grade in case that you need it. So I'm going to be doing some bonus. So those are going to be released like probably in week 5, probably in week 8. You're going to be getting like an extra activity that is not going to be mandatory, but it's something that is going to give you that extra option. Something really important, as I mentioned, is try to learn your ways of learning, how you are learning. Are you a visual learner? Are you a person who needs to write down things? Are you a person that needs to record and then later listen it again? Remember, practice, 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 practice. You're going to be able, of course, to use a calculator. I'm providing also a calculator in the test and in the labs that you can actually even access. You can actually even use the calculator from your phone. But I want you to make sure that you understand that the meaning and the importance of math is not just about a number. At the end, when you're doing a calculation, that number is giving you a clue of something. And that is the real important thing. What are you gonna do with that number? That number is meaning that you're losing clients. That number is meaning that you're losing money. What is the real number meaning? And that is the only input that you can do. Not anyone else can do. This is your portion. This is why the human component is so important. So I want you guys to be really aware of that, because calculating things, we have Excel, calculating things, we have financial calculators. Calculators are something that you need to know where you're putting, but once you get the answer, you need to give the meaning and interpret that answer. And that is the really important thing. And then finally, as I said, I really want you to, in a way, enjoy the class. You know, don't feel stressed. If you're feeling that you're having issues, you're having any problems with the deadlines, please let me know. But let me know in advance, not when the deadlines pass already and they were like 2 weeks off. Instead, communicate with me, communicate with your peers. If you're having a problem with a project, talk to me, send me an email, let me know. I'm not gonna be able to make it. I'm having a lot of work. This is happening, X, Y, and Z in my personal life, whatever, I don't know. You don't need also to disclose, to go to the detail, but it's important for me to know if you're not having a good performance, what is happening. And I would like to help you from that standpoint. Does it make sense? Yeah? Okay, see yes, okay, perfect. Okay, and then that's it, guys. So then that's as I said, that's what I want from you. I want you to enjoy this class. I want you to find that this has a meaning, and I don't want it to make it painful. I don't want math to be painful in our lives. I don't want you to experience that. I think that math shouldn't be painful. So then that's my main goal with this class. Any questions so far?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, Camila, go for it.
Are we going to be having our Zoom meetings every Friday at this time, or?
We are not going to be having Zoom meetings. That's actually a great question. That's a great, excellent question. This class is an e-learning class, which means it's kind of like in a pace. So this means you have every week, we have like a module that opens and closes, and is the way that you kind of have like the activities that you need to do. You just go and read the lectures. I am doing it in a way that I want to upload the videos for you, which I can do demonstrations. And I'm kind of still finding the way. You know, I don't know if you saw the first one, I was kind of like back. I think you were just looking at my hair all messed out. I'm trying actually to find a way to make it like more useful for you guys. But the way that this class is designed is not designed for meeting, you know, meeting and talking about this. I will meet if we need to, because those will be like my office hours. If anyone has a problem and if there is a recurrent question, then maybe we can meet. But this is more on your own pace, that you can actually spread out thinking, okay, I'm starting with the lab and I'm not gonna do the discussion yet. And I even wanna like solving. And once I'm done with the lab, I'm just gonna move with the discussion. And then finally, I'm gonna do my project. On the other hand, I'm starting actually with my project and I'm doing the lab at the end. I don't know. It depends.
What do you suggest we do? Like what do you suggest?
I have to admit, I think it depends. And then remember, it depends with what is the best way of you approaching things. So then for sure, the first thing that you should do, you should go and open the presentation, the PowerPoint. So then the PowerPoint is gonna give you the whole grasp of the whole module. It's gonna give you all the concepts. It's gonna give you some key examples. It's gonna give you the whole overview. Then it's going to give you like a way that if you want to go further, you can actually go in your book and start reading, because the concepts that you're going to find in the PowerPoint, those are elements that I'm taking from the book. The book is covering some material that we're not taking here in the class, and there are other material that actually we're incorporating. As you guys know, this is more like we really need to maximize the time. So we're trying to give you like the essence and then some key examples so you can try to understand and then create analogies. So then again, for sure, Camila, the first thing is to read the PowerPoint, watch the video, and then from there you can take discussion or lab and project. It depends. Remember, we're not gonna have discussions every week. We're only gonna have 5. And then remember, we're not gonna have labs. Labs, we're gonna have 8. But remember, we're not gonna have projects each week. We're only gonna have 5. So then my other advice is also try to balance with your other classes. So then you know how you can actually tap things. As I mentioned, that's even an idea of doing the labs. So then you're not on your own. I want you also to collaborate with your peers and then try to get their insight, their input, the way that they're learning, the way that they process the calculations and the formulas. So then it's more a collaborative project that is gonna put into application the concepts that we're learning here. Does it make sense, Camila?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have a question. So when are the
go for it.
assignments due?
Oh, say it again. I didn't hear you.
When are the labs, the discussions, everything? When are they due? Like every week, every Friday?
Yes. So then they're going to be due every week. So then the way that it goes, it kind of opens Wednesday and it closes Tuesday. So then it's Wednesday, you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, and then, you know, you just blah, 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 blah. And then Tuesday will be like the time that you have. That's the deadline. And it will be like, you know, at night, of course. Yep.
Okay.
So then we're working every week is working like in a module. So then we have the first module is the first week, second module is the second week, and then it goes like that. And then again, remember, starting Wednesday and close Tuesdays. Yes, tell me, Camila.
So this week's module is due on Tuesday night?
Yes.
Oh,
Which is the
okay.
12th. Which is the 12th. I think we're
Okay.
the other one opens on the 13th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So you have like a week to, and then that's, you know, if you're an owl, if you like working like at 3 a.m., that's fine. If you operate and then you have your brightest ideas at 2 a.m. With a cup of tea and all your candles around, and that's how you like to solve your lab or create your project, that's totally fine. So then you find the moments to fulfill, you know, the deadlines.
I also have a question.
Loli, you were gonna say something?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
So for this class, do you require us to have like a notebook or anything, or is it more like personal preference? And since it's like e-learning, is it just like whatever works best for us?
Say it again. I kind of think I didn't get you the question.
Are you like is there required for us to have like a notebook, or like is it just like personal preference, like to take notes like on a notebook or like online?
That depends. That's actually an excellent question, Loli. Thank you. As we know, we have one book, and that book is available on the bookshelf that you can actually go on Canvas. You can access that book. Hopefully all of you have access to that. But by the time of notebook of following and taking notes, it depends of the way that you are more, the type of learning, yeah? I have some students in the past that they have a folder, like a binder, and then they have different modules with different divisions. Some people are more organized, some people are more visual, some people like to highlight and they have all the colors. So then I think it depends what it works best for you when you're learning. If you need to write down things and then you like to read them before starting solving the lab, that's up to you guys. My biggest recommendation though, it will be to keep something, so you keep your notes, but that is just like my preference. Because I'm a visual learner, so then I like having my paper. I know some of my students, they take notes in the lab and they're okay with the computer. So then they just take the laptop and they take notes. I just like I like the paper. I'm like the old school paper. I write down the numbers. I write down the big numbers. Let me show you like my scratch. You know, I'm like more like that old school, and I have all my markers. I'm a marker person. I love like highlighting things. So then it depends how you want to do it. It will help you though, of course, if you have things organized with all your labs, it will help you by the time that you're studying for the quizzes. So then you have all the answers and then you have the questions there and then you can access them quickly. It will help you a lot. So then that would be like my biggest advice at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, do we have any more questions? No? I think we're good. Are we good, guys? Yes? Okay, so then as I said, we're gonna do it in a way that I'm gonna be uploading more lectures. Hopefully I can find like better ways to give you the demonstrations. taking some key examples, but it's going to be exactly, of course, following the PowerPoint presentation with the lecture. Please start getting together with some of your peers so that you know already who you want to work with for the projects. Remember, we're going to have 5 projects. That's going to be a group activity. Remember, we're going to have the discussions. Those are going to be only 5 discussions with different topics: the introduction, the fractals, the interest, correlation. And then we're also going to have our labs, which you can download them on Advanced. You can actually solve them, show them all the process, and then you're going to go and plug the numbers, plug the results, and then you're going to have your result right away. You're going to be scored and graded right away. And then finally, remember, we're going to have 2 quizzes, one to prepare for the midterm, one to prepare for the final. So then that's a good idea that we're collecting all the knowledge that we need to be prepared. And final, 50 points, and then the midterm is going to be 30 points. And I'm going to be giving some bonus that are going to help you boosting your grade in case that you need that. Does it sound good? Does it make sense? So I think we're good. So then have a great weekend. If you have any questions, please remember, do not hesitate to contact me, and then communication is key, okay? So if you're having problems, if you're struggling, if you're stressed, if you're not meeting the deadlines, please communicate with me and let me know in advance, and we can work things. We can make this happen, okay?
I have one last question, sorry.
Let's go for it. I don't know who's talking. I have like a lot of images here. Who has?
It's Lily.
Oh, Lolly, go for it.
Yeah, sorry. What's the best way to reach you? Would you say email or Canvas, or like what's the most efficient way?
So both are good ways, because the good thing about Outlook is that Outlook is synchronized with Canvas. So then whenever you send me a message through Canvas, I get it through my Outlook. So either way, and I try to answer in less than 48 hours. I try always, guys, to do my best, because I know it's really critical for you when you're doing something and you really need a response. I know how critical it is. Like, you're like, oh my God, I really need, you know, the answer. So I try to do my best with that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So I think we're good, guys. Okay. So if we don't have more questions, Julian, do you have a question, or that's a bye? Is that a question, or that's a bye? I don't even know what is that. Okay, Julian is frozen. Okay, guys. So then have a great weekend and take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.